Before I start explaining this question, I would like to tell you this type of question come up in every DSE exam about the equation of straight line, about the slope from the coefficient, something like that. And it's definitely not easy. It's difficult. Sometimes if only one straight line, maybe it's easier to calculate. But if there are two straight lines, so many different unknown coefficients, even me, I may need to spend around more than 3 minutes to find out which point is referred to which statement here. So if you are not really confident, I will suggest, or you just targeting getting level 2, I will suggest you to skip this question. Okay, before you start, you must label L1 clearly and L2, otherwise it's confusing. And then this kind of format is definitely not favorable for us to use the slope or the y-intercept, something like that. So I always use slope-intercept form. Y is equal to how many x plus how many. This representing the slope of that line. This is the y-intercept. So we can get some value directly. Y is equal to negative 3 over a times of x, and then plus b over a. So by doing this, we find out slope 1 is equal to negative 3 over a. Second, we find out that the y-intercept of L1 is b over a. Label clearly. Sometimes I will be confused between line 1 and line 2. And then similarly, line 2, we know cx, and then plus y equal to d. So y is equal to negative cx and then plus d here. It's quite convenient. We know that negative c, that means slope 2 is equal to negative c. Slope d, I mean this d here, that means the y-intercept is d. And before you start, because we are talking about inequality, then so you're going to compare, you find out the fact that few things come out directly. First, the slope is steeper than line 2. So that means this slope value should be larger than this. Then you have some conclusion. Okay, first, we know negative 3 over a is larger than negative c, since m1 is larger than m2. And then if you both sides times negative 3 over a is smaller than c. Beware that if you both sides divided by negative or times negative, then the direction is changed. The reason is 1 to 3. 3 is larger than 1, but if we compare negative 1 and negative 3, then negative 1 is larger. That's the basic reason. But if you continue, you want to multiply a in order to get ac, right? But the problem is a positive or negative? It's trigger very this is the very obvious trap here that many candidates will forget about concerning is a positive or negative. If a is negative, then you need to change the direction. But however, if a is positive, then you shouldn't do any changes for the direction. So that's why this type of question, you must prepare a table. It's a must. We have A, B, C, D here. You have to prepare a table to record down any results you know that it is positive or negative. Go back here. About A is talking about this slope. This slope is larger than 0 because it's going up when x is increasing. When we move from left to right, it's going up. So we know m1 is larger than 0. Negative 3 over a is larger than 0. So a must be negative. We have the first finding. A is negative, such that their product is larger than 0. Negative divided by negative will give you some positive values. Similarly, we do similar thing. We look at this intercept. Okay, b over a is larger than 0. And then b compared with 0 times a. Beware, because you're going to time a A is negative, so it's trigger a change in the position, the direction. So B is smaller than 0. B is a negative value also. About slope 2, since M2 is larger than 0 also, negative C is larger than 0. C itself is negative. So we got C is negative. Finally, D. Oh my god, thanks God. This one just independent present here. So it's just D here, positive. Because it's above the origin. It's above the origin. Below the origin will give negative. So then we can continue. We have all the infrastructure, and then we just continue both sides times A. So we have AC in the right hand side. Because we are multiplying negative, that's why we need to change direction. Okay, so AC should be smaller than 3. Oh, the first statement is correct. We did so many things. Finally, we find that the first statement is correct. And then the most horrible thing is you may not know how can you get 2 and 3 here. Sometimes you need to try many different things. So I need some space. And then just now we use the slope, and then we may use the fact that this is larger than this. This is higher, so which means this value is larger than this. So B over A, the second relation we know, B over A is larger than D. Again, maybe we compare A and D together. We multiply A again, which is negative, so we change the direction. B is smaller than AD. We have something similar here. AD is larger than B. So this statement is wrong. Okay, we use the slope. We use the y-intercept. And then there is one more equation. Maybe we need to consider the x-intercept also. So I start considering the x-intercept for L1. 3x plus ay equal to b. We are considering when the y is equal to 0. So when y equals 0, x is equal to b over 3. So this is b over 3. Similar reason, we do similar thing for the another line. When y is equal to 0, x is equal to d over c. So this is d over c. And which one is larger here? Right hand side is larger. This is larger than this. So we have our calculation here. The third one, we know that b over 3 is larger than d over c. So b is larger than 3d over c. We want to put bc together, compare with 3d. And then both sides times c. Again, c is negative. Whenever you multiply an unknown, then you have to be really alert. It's negative. That's why we need to change the direction. So BC is more than 3D. Oh, this is correct. So our answer is D. That's why I say that even if I finish it, I need to spend more than 3 minutes. And can be even more difficult if we consider the intercept point here, because we can use simultaneous equation to solve the x and y approximate position. Expressed in terms of A, B, C, D, something like that. So it's still possible that they let us to consider about the intercept point. Then it's even more time consuming. But anyway, every year there is quite common. Then just make sure your calculation is fast and accurate, and you can transform it very quickly to slope intercept form.